Hello, BookTube. Well, I know I have a guest. He's just off camera. I think he's doing the laundry or perhaps scrubbing the bathroom floor, but the mail goes on, right? Because we're on a streak here of benign mail openings where I actually get to upload the results. I've only got two packages this time. I think the U.S. Postal Service truck has not yet arrived, so there'll be more mail today, but I figure two is probably a low enough number to keep us out of trouble. So we'll do those. There's one package and one box. And that ought to be fine. We have to be able to get through that with food for thought. So let's see what this first one is. Oh, okay, great. This is the finished copy of something we've already seen. Fantastic. Ooh, look at all this stuff. Good Lord. Okay, yeah, I don't need a Q&A. Thanks very much. This is the great Robin Lane Fox. This is Homer and his Iliad in the finished copy. So this comes out in October. Yeah, the end of October. And let me reprise this for anybody who doesn't remember. The Iliad is undoubtedly one of the world's greatest epic poems. Widely read today, this story of heroic battle and divine fate, set over the course of a few weeks during the Trojan War, explores timeless themes of war and morality, love and revenge, fate and free will. Yet questions surrounding its history remain. When was the poem composed? By whom? And why does it matter? In this book, the author aims to answer these questions. With 50 years of experience and extensive research, he argues that the Iliad was not, as some scholars claim, a composite work developed over centuries by a long tradition of poets. Instead, he concludes the poem is the result of the genius of a single oral poet, Homer, who regularly performed his work and chose to have it transcribed around 740 BC, up to a century earlier than some recent scholars have argued. Okay, all right. Well, I've said many times before that I like it when a book does this. I think a plain-faced reading of the Iliad in any English translation will give you the immediate impression that you're reading a composite work. I think it's self-evident. So the author here is claiming, perhaps to be a little contrary, but that is not true. So I have the advanced copy of this, I think, or maybe I sent it off to one of you, but I haven't got to it. So it's good to have a reminder. This needs to go on the pile right away. And then we have a box to finish out this little mail haul. We have a box from a struggling YouTube channel. Jared Henderson has sent a box. I don't know why. Of course, Jared is as familiar as the rest of you with rule number 1 on this channel, which is don't send me a book unsolicited. You can test the waters and see if I want it. I won't, but you can. But what else could Jared be sending? I hope it's not another copy of the Meditations of Marcus Aurelius. Not all of us are dude bros, nor want to be. Let's see. Let's see what this is. What has young Jared decided to send? It's a letter of some kind? What's it got here? Okay, well, it looks like it's tech. And that is rule number 2 on this channel, as long as we're reprising the rules. Rule number 1 is don't send me a book blind. There are about 2 people on earth who can do that with any chance of success, and you're not one of them, because they don't watch this channel. And number 2 is send me your tech. I want your tech. Any tech that you don't use that still works. And I think that's what young Jared has done. Oh my God, look at this packing job. Good Lord. All right, well, I'm going to try and work my way into this packaging because I definitely want to see what this is. I honestly don't know what tech I need. Or rather, I do know. I know exactly what tech I need, but it's rather pricey. I have decided that I need a new iPhone. A newer iPhone. I have an iPhone 6S from 50 years ago. You have to wind it to crank it up. It's tiny, it's old, it works really well, but I really need one of these huge screened iPhones. So an iPhone 10 or later is the next piece of tech that I need. I've got a great guy at the AT&T store here in Boston. He is wonderful. He handles all of my my tech needs when I go in there. I am sure that if I were to get a used iPhone 10, or if one of you were to send me such a thing, I am sure that he could take whatever I need from this phone. Is it a SIM card? I'm sure that he could do that. I'm sure that he could take the brain, the innards of that phone, and put it in any new phone that I get. I just haven't done it because even secondhand, iPhones are pricey. Uh, this thing isn't coming quietly, is it? You'll just have to put up with more of my snappy patter. Uh, Plus, these things are not only is it packaged to a fairly well, but it's a little bit of an extra trial when you don't have quite accurate touch. You're worried that you're going to hurt yourself. So I will just use GigaChad Raw Force. That's what I'll do. Let's see what we have here. Oh, it is tech. Oh my. What is this? What have we got here? Oh my goodness. Oh, it's still wrapped in plastic. I'm going to have to email Jared what this is. So this is the books. So is this Onyx? Yeah, the Onyx Books Note. I have the Onyx Books Note Air, a large e-ink device that's meant for e-drawing as well. I have it. I've got it to work fairly well as an e-drawing device. I think one of you sent it to me with a lovely case. The only reason that I don't use that Onyx Books Note Air from, I think it's probably 5 years old, the only reason that I don't use it far more often is because I cannot for the life of me figure out how to load ebooks on it. It's allegedly an e-reader, but I cannot figure out how to do that. I can do everything else. I can take notes. I can make drawings, including some fairly sophisticated materials on there, but this is smaller. So this is I wonder if this is their Kindle size version of this. We'll find out together. It's just still wrapped, still factory wrapped. Did Jared get this and just not want it? Let's see. Let's see what we have here. Ooh, oh, oh my. Oh, this is practically a tech unboxing. This is entirely new. There you go. Look at that. I'm worried now that I'm going to do something horrible to this thing on camera, of course. I don't want to destroy it in the act of opening it, but I want to take a look at it. Ooh, look at that. Very nice. Nice, solid build. There's a tiny, you can see it in the light there, just a bit, a tiny raising on the bezel. Just a bit, but I like that. I actually like that more than the Paperwhite, for instance. The Kindle Paperwhite doesn't have that at all. The Kindle Paperwhite is one surface, that's all. No little ridges anywhere. And I actually think that this doesn't have a bezel. That bezel is not raised. That's flat with the screen. But there is this little rim here, and I find that helps with gripping. So what have we got here? Power button up top, nothing on the side, nothing on the other side. Remember, I mentioned a couple of years ago, that is the design aesthetic that rules tablets of any kind. The idea being you want smooth sides all around. The goal being that eventually models will come out where there is nothing. There are no controls at all. And everything is done some other way. We've got speakers on the bottom, and also, is that a USB-C? Is that USB-C? Yes. Yeah, there's USB-C on the bottom here. Okay. Let's see if this has any power. Oh, what a lovely thing. That does have power. It's powering up. It's handheld. It's much smaller than the other one I have. But does it have the capability to draw? It must. It must. Let's see. While that's powering up, there's the power cord. Ah, yes. There we go. There's the stylus. So this is a tiny little... Okay, so this is really convenient for taking notes. I wonder if this thing is magnetized. I guess I'm going to be opening all this stuff anyway, right? Because I'm going to find out what it is. I wonder if this thing sticks to the device. Let's take a look and see. Here's the device. Does this thing stick? Oh, it does. Good, solid stick. Okay, fantastic. Does it stick on the other side? No, it doesn't. All right. Well, the whole thing is ruined. Okay. So, the whole I'll set this all up off camera, but the whole question now is directly connected with my other Onyx Books Note, which is, can I get this to load ebooks? If I can't get it to load ebooks, I already sketch every day on paper. So I'm not going to move all of that to something like this, especially since I'm already comfortable with that, and I would have to learn from the ground up with this. So I really want this to be an e-reader. As well, I'm not saying I'll ignore the drawing, but I want this to be an e-reader. So we'll have to see what that does. That's basically it. The paraphernalia here is the usual instructions and whatnot, the device, and the stylus, which if you position it right, it's got a flat end there. All the rest of it is ribbed for grip. The flat end is the magnet, and that attaches to the device. It attaches to the device apparently only on the right-hand side, not on the left-hand side, which is weird because when you attach it to the device on the right-hand side, that's exactly where you're going to be gripping it, and you are immediately going to dislodge the pen. That's happened 3 times just in this video. That's kind of odd, but that's fantastic. I will email young Jared and see what is going on here. Unless maybe his note says so and I just didn't figure it out. Fantastic. Well, always nice to get tech. Always nice. So I'd call this a success of a mail haul because not only was the book about one of my favorite books, but I also got tech that I get to play around with. I don't know anything about this at all. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna turn this off so that I don't do anything wrong with it. And that's it. So we are still on a streak. Mail is still coming. More is coming today, plenty more tomorrow. I'm just going to keep going until we hit rough waters. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we've turned this around. So that's the mail for today. A book and a books, BOOX. So I'll wrap this up for now, and I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.